And hey, without further ado, I think it is time that we get things started. So I'd like to have you guys give a warm welcome to FeRReTDiPiTY as he gets the ball rolling on Pocky and Rocky with Becky.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We're on GBA, but we're on Wii U. But we're on GBA. Official emulation, my friends. Don't pay a scalper $260 for a game you can get for $6.99. We had a bid war for this. There are 3 characters. In case you could not tell, the 3 to choose from are Pocky, Rocky, and Becky. So if you have that answer, that would be helpful.
I most certainly do. All right, so I can let you know that with $119, Becky is not who we'll be playing as, and neither is Pocky with $126.30. We're going to be playing as Rocky with a total donation amount of $234.69.
This is my shocked face, that Rocky one. This is my shocked face. Good choice. No bad choice. Excellent. So countdown. It's on character selection. So 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the 3rd game in the Kiki Kai Kai series. Known in the West as Pocky and Rocky. The first 2 were on the Super Nintendo. This 3rd one was a Game Boy Advance game. Did not have a very large release. And then the game has been mostly silent since then, except for they recently announced, about a year ago, Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, which is a brand new one that will be coming out for the Switch. So do keep an eye on that. It was actually supposed to come out in September. We're gonna get that. So this game, it's kind of a... It does have a shmup mentality, but you also do move around like it's a Zelda, a very small mini Zelda. We're already up to our first boss, Pro Tengu. There are a lot of interesting mechanics in this game that I will explain in the interludes, because the interludes to the levels are very, very long. Comparatively to the stages, at least. As long as we don't fall here. There we go. That's our stage 1 down. So, what's interesting about this one is you saw me going for power-ups. There are different color scrolls that you get, and each one is different. The purple ones are character-specific. You may have noticed while I was scrolling through. There's Explosion Type for Pocky, Multi-Shot for Becky, and Rocky has what you saw as the Homing Shot. There was a lot of good work done by CaliMag, who actually showed me a very detailed, like went into the metadata that showed the nuts and bolts of everything. There are multiple mechanics in this game such that if you have a lower life total and a lower item count, the bosses actually have drastically less health. So normally you would think in a game like this, oh, just, stack as many power-ups as you can, if you're thinking Gradius, like go full option mode, you're good to go. It actually does make the game harder, and it makes the bosses take longer. Now, that said, you do still gain damage. So for each character, there's actually a sweet spot that you want to be at. Becky is the fastest, Pocky is the next fastest, and Rocky is actually by far the slowest. One of the things that also dictates the amount is how many lives you have. So you're going to see me take intentional falls in this game, and you're going to think, wow, look at Dippity just taking the fall, no problem, like what's up, I thought this was a speedrun. Those are intentional, and it actually ends up being faster than continuing forward, because if you have no items, even with stock weapon, you're going to beat a boss faster than if you went in, let's say you hadn't taken a fall at all through the first 5 levels. The bosses are going to get progressively very, very hard. So this game kind of has like what I like to call dynamic routing. It depends on what power-ups you get and how many lives you have. You get 1-ups at 20,000 points and 50,000 points. If you ideally you delay those 1-ups as long as possible, right? Different characters. The reason why Becky is the best is that she can stack her purple power-ups to get up to 4 cards firing at any time, and it absolutely just melts bosses. But she's also the most RNG dependent. Pocky only needs 1, except after she takes the intentional falls. Rocky actually did not have an active running scene. I'm the only person who has a Rocky run. No love for him, sadly. But I did find out, because his base attack is actually quite poor. We're looking at 13 raw damage. Alright, gosh, it's kind of hard, so I'm going to focus here. Oh boy. Yeah, Rocky's boss fights take about 3 times luck than the other characters. Whoa, that was cool. Okay. Fireball is something we normally would not pick. It does give a nice damage boost, but not that much to Pocky and Becky. But Rocky's starting weapon is actually so weak that Fireball is almost triple the damage. The other reason we wouldn't normally take is that it does have a 4 projectile limit on the screen at any point. But it's actually not that much of a detriment, and is much faster. So with Rocky, from the routing that I've done, Fireball's actually the best choice. When you take his purple scroll, it's actually the homing shot you may have seen, which does do okay damage. It just, as you know, with most homing shots and most from-ups, is not entirely accurate. It lands where it wants to and takes a while to get there. Whereas Fireball, you can completely control. There are yellow scrolls. Taking the fall there is not ideal, but it's fine. We did want to take it after the key, but we were going to take it around this time. The other thing I forgot to mention, and that's why I wanted to mention about the intentional falls too, is that keys, you may say, oh, why don't you just use the base weapon the whole time? Keys count as a power-up, despite the fact that they do not add a power to you. So, even if you were to pick up no power-ups the entire time, you would still be at an item count of 7 by the end of the game. And thus you'd be at tier 7, which is, the bosses have about triple health. So despite the fact that this is a short game, there is actually a lot of routing mechanics here. Yeah, Pocky and Becky can quite literally not move and beat this boss, but Rocky does have to move around a little bit. Yeah, his leaves only do 13 damage. The nice thing is they do have a long range. There are items in the game that will increase range, which is the yellow scroll, but it's so unimportant and it tears up the boss's health that we actually never want to grab it. Blue will add damage to each projectile. There's arguments to grab it for Becky, but no one else. I told you about Fireball. And then purple is the one we're looking for. Generally, the odds on each scroll is 20%, so this can become, in a non-marathon setting, a very non-marathon setting, become a very reset-heavy game. But it's so short that that's not really a problem. You're resetting within the first 30 seconds, generally. You'll notice Rocky walking backwards, and be wondering what's going on with that. For the Shrine Beans, they have their purifying stick, and that's what is knocking them away. It works on most enemies and projectiles, but not all. So if you see me switching to shot, that is because the tail does not work on that one. The parasols are those. We're going to take a fall here, intentionally right before the boss room. Ideally, we would get a red scroll here. Did not. We got a second chance. There we go. Okay, this should be a very fast boss now. It's good because the spider spawns a lot of ads, so the shorter we can make the fight, the better. Alright. You'll notice that I do tank some hits in the boss. There's a heart in the bottom. In the American version, you're allowed to take 1 hit, 2 for a fall. In the Japanese version, the original, it is 1 hit KO. So they made this one easier. Additionally, you'll notice a password screen. The password screen was only added for the American version. And there are more text boxes. So for that reason, between the text boxes and the password screen, you're looking at a good at least 20 seconds added to the American one. However, because you have that extra free hit, the American one is much safer, and you can be much more aggressive. We're actually going to grab that. You can actually be much more aggressive on the bosses. So Eric's at 33, the world record holder, and the only sub 11 in this game. And I were theorizing which would be faster, and we don't actually know. So if any of you would like to help us along with that, always looking for new people to join this community. And that does involve Becky, who, as I said, you do need a lot of red scrolls. You are still taking falls with her, so it does require a lot of 20% rolls. But not all. There is a lot of leeway in this. This game has not been fully optimized. Alright, so we're going to one of the worst translations of an enemy I've ever seen here. And that would be Smart Boy. The Smart Boy asks you for a drink, as Smart Boys are wont to do. Alright, we're no longer having alcohol thrown at us. We did pass that 50,000 threshold, so that boss did take a little bit longer. There was more health, so I actually probably should have taken the fall before then. But these scrolls do stack. Once you have 1 fireball with Rocky, you generally don't go for any more. But they do stack. It goes from 31 to 41 to 51 damage, respectively, for each scroll. It's not something that you go out of your way for, because with the tier up, you're not actually doing much more damage. But if it's something that's literally along the way, then it's worth grabbing. This is the final stage. We're already there. We're going to walk to the end. We're going to grab this key. And then we are going to take the fall right before the end. Right around here. And then we're going to hope for a red scroll. Oh, well, I missed it, so it doesn't matter. Alright. Here it is natural, but it's fine. This is the boss giant snake. He will have 2 forms. Time is on the last hit of the second. Start with 1 here. 2 will come down. Then I get 4. Whoa! Where are you going, buddy? Okay. You just don't want to be in a good spot right now. Alright, that means we're going to have to take the second form a little bit safe, which is unfortunate, because anywhere not the head is safe, you can actually stand underneath the body. But with half a heart, we're not going to try that. Or maybe we'll be forced to. Okay. You are not playing nice right now. There we go. unfortunate. That's fine. We're now at 0 lives, which means that it will melt much faster. There's a little bit of time left. Not to use the old meme, but I have never seen Giant Snake go that far out before in the first one. I've never seen it do a complete 180 loop-de-loop. See, there we are under the bump. Just like 2 more hits. There we go. And 10.
All right. Hey, nice work. And hey, Ferret, guess what?
What's that?
Guess what? We have just surpassed
nice
$10,000 with a current total of $10,069. I've got a couple of donations to read, but I'll go ahead and let you finish things off, and we'll get to those.
It's just the credits now. Rocky saved the day, of course, because he's the best Tanuki. So read off those donations.
All right. Hey, we've got a few of them. So we've got a $10 donation from Raven Ferret. Thank you so much. We've got a $5 donation from Oasis, who says if everyone gives $5 right now, we'll smash that $10,000 goal. Come on, y'all. And yes, absolutely. Great work. We have a $10 donation from Laplacky saying donating an extra $10 if the host gets my name wrong. Hope I did a good job there. And the donation that got us to where we're at was a $224 donation from FeRReTDiPiTY saying keeping the trend of nice numbers going.
Excellent job, everyone. Like I said, grab this game. It's a really nice small community. Eric's33 has been very helpful. We need more Rocky runners. There are effectively none. But if you want to run Pocky or Becky, they're also very fun too. I'd arguably say more fun. Not as cute, but still very cute. Short little game. Do not buy the cartridge, as I said at the beginning. Not worth $300, as you saw. Can be beaten very quickly, even if you do it just casually. 30 to 60 minutes. Really not that long of a game. And keep an eye out for Reshrined. Like I said, it's made by the same people that did the Ninja Saviors, the remake of Ninja Warriors, as well as Wild Guns Reloaded. It's a 3-person team. It did get delayed for, as they said, reasons, in quote, which is a bit ominous, but we're hoping it's still going to come out. And if you get a chance, I believe one of the Pocky and Rockies is on Super Nintendo for Switch Online. So if you have Switch Online, it's a free try. If you think it's something up your bag, highly recommend it.